Can you hear me? I can't hear you. Oh, there we go.
Got it?
I got you now.
Okay,
Okay.
I did that. It worked.
So,
Whatever.
Thank you. Yay.
We want to have that as a.
Sorry,
separate
Amber.
URL that goes straight to
the directory,
the directory.
perfect. So then in that case, for your URL, purchase that on GoDaddy, so
Yeah.
you already have that all
Okay.
set up. Then we'll just use that as a forwarding address to the actual directory link. So,
Great. That's exactly what I
Right.
want. So,
Perfect.
so that we don't have to minimize the clicks to get
Sure.
to get to
Okay.
the actual directory.
now, is that URL available? That's the huge question.
Well, there's not, unless it's Southwick, England, I don't think there's
I know,
another
yeah.
Southwick in
Yeah, I
the
mean, I can
US.
look right now, but go ahead, and I'll let you know.
Things that might be Shop Southwick MA or something like that to make it
Yeah.
a little bit more designated, for its location. But, what about the dining guide? Did you want that as a separate link as,
Yes.
URL?
Well,
Oh,
no,
no.
that's gonna just be a QR code, so we don't need, we're not even gonna promote a URL for that, which is.
Okay, well, okay, so right now for like our dining guide, it's just a link on our site, so southwickbdc.com/our dining guide.
So what we're gonna do is create the URL that goes direct, not the URL.
The
but
QR
create the
code.
QR code that goes.
Well, the
direct-
QR code, yes, we base off that link,
Right.
yes, yep. Right, so cool, and again, right now I just did a low res, capture of the PDF, just to put it on there as an
Sure.
example, that's all. That you can see there and here. Alright, so that way now you can see and, yeah. But, and then.
Would you
So-
rather have that as like a JPEG
No,
or a
that's okay, no, the
PNG
PDF is
or-
great,
just because the PDF is laid out a little weird, it's laid out in a brochure
Right.
form.
don't worry,
so
I
it's
just did
kinda-
this super quick, so what I'll do is, cause I can make the PDF into, individual panels, so.
Yeah.
You know, the
Perfect.
Southwick eating and drinking establishment would be on top, the northeast would be underneath that, and then it'll be
Okay.
columnized
Okay.
like that.
Yeah.
And so no worries,
So that'll be
Thank
higher.
you.
but yeah, the
res.
design is nice, so that's cool, I like the imagery for it here.
So-
What's your question?
It'll be a higher res
Yeah.
than the text,
It'll be a high, so it'll be a higher res so that the text would be,
not fuzzy.
not fuzzy, it's
Crisp.
fuzzy right now.
Yeah.
But it'll be so that it can still load quickly. The
Yeah.
PDF will still be a download on the site, so that if you,
So it'll open another window.
yes, yeah,
Okay.
and if you want, you can download it to your computer or download it to your, device, you know,
Okay.
so yes. Yes,
So question about that.
Sure.
Um, regarding the spotlight graphic then,
Mhm.
when will I be able to tell them that they can log into this site to create that QR code to that page?
I usually make you a QR code and send it to you.
Perfect. And then I can
So-
send it to them.
Exactly, right.
Great. So,
So, the QR codes I make, it is, I have the option of high res vector and all that, so, if it's gonna go onto a large banner, that's the kind of format you're gonna want, so that
Okay.
it's expandable and
Yep.
won't lose, you know, quality.
perfect.
Yes.
So I could have that
Tomorrow.
when? Perfect.
So, for the dining guide, right now I have it as, let's see, I'm gonna have to do a test. Because the site is still in, construction mode, I'm just wanting to make sure that there's no extra link or code in there that will make the QR coding for that when it
Okay.
goes live,
Okay,
all right? So yes, but, yeah, but right now it would be southwickedc.com/our dining guide, and is that okay?
sure.
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
if it's
the QR
quicker,
code.
just send that to them and they can make the QR code.
Well, once the QR code is made, you can't alter it. So,
But if you know that's the URL, exactly.
right, so I just gotta do a test to make sure
Oh,
that,
okay.
because it's not, the site isn't live yet. I don't want that link to be what the QR code is basically reading and trying to go to a construction, you know, like coming soon site. So that's the only thing I gotta try to test,
All right,
but it should be pretty easy to do anyways. So yeah, and then, yeah. So again, right now, what other information will be on here other than just the JPEGs and the PDF and whatnot? Because one of the things, like when you're looking at the information for D&J's Hash House, it has the Facebook link, so,
Will those be able to be live or,
from a JPEG, no.
no, I know, but from a
Um,
PDF, they should be, but I don't
So
know about.
so basically for the PDF, what would then be done is I would take the cover, make that the JPEG image, put that on top. The rest of it can basically be,
Text.
the actual live website being searchable and interactive.
Yeah.
So that all of these, entries here, again, if someone types in, searching for D&J Hash House, maybe our site will come up, in the search query. So that will all help the site's longevity anyways. And of course, the links can be real, to go to their Facebook page. These would also, I'm assuming, gonna be in the actual directory anyway, so redundant, but it's okay. You know, it's utilizing it in another link that, again, I just want eating and drinking. I don't wanna go through the other part of it.
so you're saying it'll be live in the website, so it'll be editable too?
Mhm, yes,
Okay, because
right.
that'll be important, things change.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah, but right
totally.
now
For
we're
sure.
on the cusp of 4 new restaurants in town.
Wow, cool.
So,
Yeah, so,
That's-
and the way to set up is easy enough. I can pull the text from the PDF and just populate it so that it's all searchable and editable.
Yeah,
Um,
That's gonna be much more flexible than if it was just a PDF.
yes, definitely.
Do
Um,
you want me to send you like the text so that you don't have to type that in? do
no, I
you?
don't have to type it. I'm copy and pasting from the PDF, so you're
Okay,
okay.
all right,
But thank you.
sure.
All right, so, going back to the directory section, again, right here, I just started doing some, tests where, categories based off of your survey. So you have auto and trucks, and then underneath that, you have auto parts, accessories, and setting all this up, super easy. And again, like if you were to click on it, I just did a little test here.
that's where I got the Napa one from,
Okay,
because that got sent to me,
the one,
the Napa test.
how did an Apple test get sent to you?
Oh, no, I got it in my personal emails earlier today.
I didn't do that.
Huh, it was through the Economic Development Commission.
Interesting.
I'll
Well,
send it to you when I get home.
sure.
Yeah.
Be interesting to see, that, but yes, and with this particular directory, so I'm just gonna open another, page here, and then go here. So in the actual directory portion of the program, it's basically a plugin. I downloaded two. This is the first one I started using just because I just wanted to try one. And fairly simple when you are like adding a new listing. And it's of course all for, ready for you to take a look at. So let me so let's go with
Wow, that looks
JD.
nice.
Oh, no, this is just Google.
Oh,
Wait, thank
okay.
you.
That's why it looks nice.
That's it. Oh, that's great.
So we have JD Auto, so let's say we just go here and add a new listing. Boom. Let's say for the images here, do they have anything that we can utilize? Nope, that's from the map. All right, so there's the map, okay.
On that,
Well, hold
would
on.
that be an option as at least a
Yep.
initial temporary till we get in the long run?
So I
it'd
just
be
took,
great
I
to
just
do
took, a-
custom
I just took a
photos.
screenshot, I just
Of
took a
everything,
screenshot,
yeah.
so we're good. Just gotta save the screenshot, that's all.
Yeah.
Then-
In one sense, that's a very good initial thing, because
Mhm.
it helps people recognize if they're trying
What
to
it
find it.
is.
Yeah.
But I know it is JD's.
So then here, again, going to my new listing here. So again, I like how it's very modular. So this simple thing right here is basically just media and text. I'll just upload that image. Boom, boom. And then for the text information, that is right here. So one of the things is, here, open that up.
Photoshop was a bunch of grass in the sidewalk, so people will be sharp.
So one of the tricks here is like, if you're gonna, do some of this part of it. I always like to take the web data that's here and put it into like Notepad. What happens is that it eliminates all the code behind it and formatting. So it's easier to then copy and paste it into the actual, editing tool.
There's not a paste value function.
Correct.
So that's a way to get a paste value.
Yes.
We're gonna be
I'm so
bringing
glad
it
they
in
all
from
know
a
what they're talking
spreadsheet,
about.
Yeah,
because I'm gonna have it in the spreadsheet and the answers to the survey.
okay.
The Google
Yeah.
deliver it as an Excel file.
So let's just say, I just popped the information there and technically, what could be put there is actually the, let's say, story, like, little story about that particular business. But if I wanted to, bold, bang, it's just right there. It's all,
Yeah.
you can format very easily.
Yeah, we'll have a description field where they're gonna provide a
Yes,
description of
and
what their business
that's where
is.
you can definitely put the description, because
Yeah.
when you go down here, this is where, okay, they have a website, you put the website there, the phone number. The phone number,
Right, and we have all of those fields that
yep,
we're gonna provide.
so like, and because the actual, so what you show here in this block is not the preview image, that is being displayed. So here, but these fields need to be filled because when you use the search functionality of the directory, now you can, okay, search by zip code and then search by something.
They're all gonna be ones that go.
Sure.
Is there a mapping function there?
This one, I have not found a mapping function for this yet. But this particular plugin can be upgraded to a paid version, and that might have a mapping function.
Sure, and it's not essential now. I'm just curious.
So basically from here, I can just push the publish button.
If we have this on the, people bring it up on the phone, can the phone number be dialable?
Yes.
Okay, good.
So, that is and you don't have to do anything special or any kind of special coding for it.
All
You
right.
can still just copy it right from, even from that plain, notepad text and put it into its field. And
It's the phone field is automatically dialable.
basically,
Good.
yes.
Excellent.
Websites have come a long ways. So yeah. Now, here's the thing is that and there's one part that I found with this particular directory that is, a little bit cumbersome. But selecting its category and subcategory. So from here, I've already published it, but I would need to go to right here, quick edit, and now I can select auto and trucks and auto repair shop. And
Okay,
Okay,
And-
so your
and-
whole directory tree is
it's all gonna be,
populates in there.
yes.
Okay.
Now that I press the update button, that shows there, and if I go to here and refresh. And it's already automatically in alphabetical order, which is nice.
Excellent.
But, so that's your listing category, phone and address. This one here was my first test and I only copy and paste in the text field and I didn't fill out the form at the bottom. That's why it doesn't show that information here.
Yeah.
So that's why this is important to fill in at the bottom.
Okay.
Now everything is ultra searchable. So when you are, again, it's more, I guess, kind of technical, but your search engine optimization is, again, all based on the text that's in there. So here, SEO title, meta description, these are more items that you could
So-
customize it even further to add
So
more.
some
search
people
volume.
going into Google looking for Southwick businesses, we
Right.
might appear pretty high in the listing.
Right.
Excellent.
So talking about that part, the longevity of your website, brand new websites are. They're there, but it takes time for them to
Oh, yeah.
really
No, I
populate,
understand.
you know, so, sites are, through WordPress and GoDaddy, it's already gonna start, indexing, once it goes live, and when changes are made to, or updates are made to the website, those are indexed and sent back to the, search engines, to let them know, hey, the data has been updated.
Right.
Just refresh. And all of this information here, all this SEO analytics, all this stuff, yeah, as you see, like, all that, but, like premium SEO and analysis. So the site already has a built-in SEO. It's just everything's out of cart if you want to add more stuff. So, yeah.
Now,
Um,
is this connected to GA4?
Not yet. So that is something I have to look into. So the G4 is what is replacing analytics. Analytics is going bye-bye in like a month or 3 weeks or something like that. I
But
already
it
have to,
eventually would be, or is that a premium feature?
I have to look into the G4 plugin for WordPress. So Google Analytics has always been free. So the G4 is their updated version, and basically they're discontinuing Google Analytics. But they're still gonna be tracking information. Since the site's brand new, there's nothing to transfer from the old system. So this will be a brand new install of G4 onto it. I just gotta look into see how that's done. Because it's usually an extra plugin that you just install. So like if we were
We
to.
just want basic, we wanna know visits, and ideally where they're going.
Exactly, and that would be built into here so that, let's say we go to plugins, and just take a look here, add new plugin. And then search, well, Google Doggle. Google G4. No plugins found, okay. So Google Analytics. So yeah, so that's gonna take a little research to do.
Okay.
But yes, but we will definitely want that. I do, if we go, right now, Yoast SEO is what is built into your site right now.
Okay. That's
And
another source.
that is exactly,
Okay,
and
as
that's-
long as we can report on traffic.
yeah,
We wanna build traffic, that'll be an important metric to justify
Right.
Mhm.
to the town, whether people are actually using this.
Right, and on the pages, like this is just basically, again, the back end directory of pages. You can see all the different SEO things that Yoast has already provided
Okay.
to really tailor. And this is all back end stuff that the public doesn't see, but it helps.
Oh, yeah, no,
So, yeah,
all helps our traffic.
yeah, and then, again, all the SEO stuff is at the, oh, I am not in the editing. Go back to the editing. Blah, blah, blah,
It should
blah.
help our local businesses if our site appears high in the Google listings. It'll send more people to local stuff because that's the only thing we have,
Right.
as opposed to,
It's interesting.
popping up something in West Springfield or some other town.
Yeah, okay, well, I wanna put some, alright, so basically whatever's getting crossed and it's keep on going back to the preview page rather than to the editing side. Okay. Alright, but, so yeah, that was that little, demo on the directory.
So
Yes.
regarding the directory, is the URL code that we were wanting to use available?
I don't know, what did you find?
I actually think I already bought that one. And I just have to forward it to
Okay.
you. I think I already bought that
I
one.
wasn't
Just
clear on
forward it directly to Martin.
No, it'll be forwarding
need
to the
You
GoDaddy.
got it.
account.
You
Oh,
need to own it.
Yes.
You
Yeah,
gotta
you
own
need
it.
to own
We
it.
Right.
we wanna own it.
So,
Yeah.
that's great if you're.
Yeah, and I think that's the only one that I bought, if I
Okay,
recall.
good.
Yeah.
That's the most important one. I
Yeah,
don't even know if we decided on what the business side URL should be.
yeah, right.
Excellent. Okay.
All right,
I just was not clear. I thought we talked about finance.
Yeah.
So,
okay. Let's see, the,
So once we have that code, then that will be able to be linked to the Shop Southway.
right, so once the code has been transferred to the main EDC account, I can then log in and then just basically redirect it to that link. There is nothing special that needs to be done, it's just forward,
Okay,
so it's easy to do.
so once that happens, how soon can we get those business directory letters out to the community?
So the only thing we really have to test is the form. So is it a link that I'm sending them to for the form? That
I gave you two options. If you brought
I
it
have
in, I can give it to you again. We can put a link on that site that people can go to shopsouthwick.com, we're talking about for the survey,
Mhm.
click on that button. I also sent you the code where you can actually embed it in the site as opposed to that then sending them to Google Forms.
Okay, if you can resend that one, that would be great. Yeah, all right, so let's see.
It's in one of the emails that I forwarded to you.
All right, and that was to my Southwoods Cloud one, right?
Yeah, it was just a snippet of HTML
Okay.
that generated the survey.
What's your email address?
Dialing home, DEILYHOME, DEILYHOME
Let's see.
at Comcast.
Here we are. Oh, cool, got it.
Oh, so you got it all there.
Yep, all right, so let me ask. Yeah. 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 Okay, church iPhone. All right, cool. Neat. Let's see. And, sir, oh, no, the survey is gonna be its own link. What we going to say, the name of the survey.
Free business listing,
Okay,
Because we had it just as free listing.
free listing.
free listing.
Free listing, yeah, that's what we're gonna promote it as. We're not gonna promote it as a survey.
Right.
It's a benefit. The survey is at the end of their listing questions.
Business listing. So. Now, let's see what they'll give me for embedding the code. All right, code. And here. Is this boring? like just the visual looking at what's on the screen or?
This
Yeah,
Or is it
exploring is the
interesting?
last thing we're worried about.
Yeah.
We're excited because it's happening.
it's happening, yeah.
Oh, cool. All right, let's try the iframe one first.
Right, Craig?
Right.
I'll just do this every now and then.
And this is how we're promoting, get your pre-business listing, go to shopsouthwick.com.
Okay. All right, well, let's see what happens. Okay, all right, we're gonna have to,
That's something you can play with.
yeah, something to play
Yeah,
with.
you don't have
Okay.
to do it.
But at
here
least,
right
at
now.
least I have the.
And if
the
it
code.
doesn't, if it doesn't work to embed it, we can use the link.
Yeah, all right, cool.
So to just wrap up what I wanted to us to accomplish tonight, Martin,
Mhm.
was that the shops, the URL.
Yep.
So we'll work on that. The website design itself, pretty basic. I don't
Yeah,
think we need to
basic right
really
now, but
vote on that at this point. You've got the restaurant guide.
yeah, we'll make that clean.
And we'll make that clean. And the page for the listing connection is being created. So we're timing now,
Mhm.
getting those 480 some letters out.
Okay,
So
is it gonna be mailed down, the letter?
it's gonna be mailed and also hand delivered. It's gonna be a blend of both.
What about email?
Well, we don't have their emails.
Oh,
We don't
See,
have- yeah.
Sure.
this will be hopefully the only mailing we ever need to do. Once we get the responses, we'll have their email and permission to email.
Right, okay.
But for now, we're doing the initial contact,
Mhm.
either in person or by mail.
Okay,
And the reason we need to know when the site's ready is because I want to put a deadline in
for
For them to
submitting your
respond.
survey.
to,
Yeah.
you know, respond in the next, ideally about 2 weeks.
Mhm, mhm.
And we don't want to then have it be delayed for 2 months.
Sure.
We want it to be ready to start.
When is the motocross event?
They've already started open trials.
It's a bunch of events over the
It's,
summer.
yeah, it's throughout the whole season. It already started and
Okay.
it ends in December.
Okay.
But I would like to,
And
Get
it's
that.
it's a larger banner that's gonna be displayed?
3 of them
Okay.
throughout the track area where
you'll
people are
scan it,
walking.
Go there to go to the.
4 feet by 8 feet or bigger
Yeah,
than
4
that.
feet by
Okay.
8.
Yeah, because that's your typical fencing panel.
Yeah.
So, all right. Okay, nifty. Let's see. And how often does this meeting meet?
It's been every 2 weeks for the past 2 meetings.
Uh-huh.
I believe everyone would like to go to once a month. But right now, this is critical,
Right.
so
Right, and for the letter, we don't need to have the whole site.
We've already-
We just need to have the
the shop
link on the
south
shop Southwick
active.
Okay,
active
That's
and,
all right.
and to soon after that, be able to populate it.
Yeah.
Because I'll start getting responses right away and I want to be able to enter them.
Okay, cool. So,
So
well, does the whole committee need to meet for or like, so let's say we say, hey, want to meet next Wednesday, to hammer out some of the like technical stuff.
Technical
it's
stuff, we
just-
could meet with you one-on-one.
Yeah,
Oh,
I can-
okay.
I can meet with you so
All
you
right.
can show me
Right.
how to enter the
Okay.
listing.
Sure.
That's
All right.
what
I just wanted you to come in tonight so that everybody can see where we are in the process.
Okay.
And to get an idea as to the time frame, as to when we could coordinate the letters. Visits to, because we want to also visit to the restaurants. There's like 5 of us that have said that, yes, we want to be able to go door to door to the restaurants and tell them what we're doing at the 338
Yeah,
and give them dine here, thank you signs,
right.
along with also hand delivering the survey to them.
Okay.
So it's all hinging on when this can be
Sure.
semi-live.
The,
And I can meet with you whenever you're, you know, short notice whenever.
Okay.
I'm retired, so I have a lot of flexibility. See, we would have done it by the
Oh,
first
wow.
day, yeah.
Yeah,
January.
so it'll be a little bit delayed there, huh? When can you just do the transfer to, the main EDC, account then for the
You mean
link?
Shop South? I
Yeah.
can send it to her tonight.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So, just let me know when that's done. I'll log in to see, and then,
So when you say when that's done,
when
because this
the,
is,
When
this
you
is quarantine,
domain-
so when I accept it,
exactly. So when the domain name is accepted by you, there's gonna be a transfer of data from GoDaddy to GoDaddy. It should be pretty quick because it's within
'cause it's
GoDaddy.
within the same.
So,
So the same
Just-
process.
you
For,
can just let me know as soon as it's actually in the account, then I can log in and take a look to see when I can actually make it a forwarding link, that's all.
Okay.
So we can literally look at that within, like, by Friday, tomorrow or Friday,
Yeah,
basically.
probably within 24 hours.
And then and that's all good on that side, I can do the forwarding link to here, and then the QR code can be made very instantly, so yeah.
So we could maybe in theory have the revised letters. I can change those dates for the restaurants. We can get a new deadline date for the survey, get those printed, and then,
And of course, I need to get the test done for
Test
making
done.
the form,
Right.
so maybe
utilizable.
within 2 weeks
Or before that.
or before that. Okay,
So we could have,
we
in
could
3 or
have
4 weeks from now could be the deadline.
the deadline.
Well, the deadline should be 2 weeks after we actually get them in their
Get to the mail.
hands.
Yeah.
So, 3 weeks at the most beyond the delay here. So maybe May 15th would be the deadline. We'll see. I don't like to have
For
it.
for
The idea of the deadline is you don't want it so far out that they say, oh, I got lots of time and they
Of course.
forget it.
and they
Right.
You
forget.
want it
Yeah.
fairly urgent, maybe
Yeah.
even in 1 week.
Like,
Right.
do
The
this
time
now.
it's
Do it
delivered.
now.
Yeah.
Do it
Don't delay,
now.
do it
Make
today.
sure you, oh, you know.
Yeah.
Well, I would say do it now, but if you don't give them a deadline,
I agree.
Just like coupons, if there's a deadline,
You gotta
and the
give them that.
deadline is not, we'll still
Action.
enter it, but they won't be in the first listing.
right.
So it's in a sense real, but it's a little bit just.
Is there any other incentive to enter my information now?
They get their free listing.
That's it.
Be the first.
You don't explain too much, so they're worried if they delay, they might miss out.
Okay.
They might not get it free, they might, not get on it at all. You don't have to be too specific,
All
just
right.
give them a deadline. And we'll follow up with the important restaurants and businesses, and we want to be in there for sure. And
Yeah.
if we don't hear from them, we'll call them, we'll visit them.
Okay.
Right. Same thing with a lot of our key businesses.
Mm.
So in theory, then, by the end of this month, our site should be live.
I would say so.
And
Yeah.
we'll be able to start getting the directory built up.
Mhm.
We'll have the QR code for the restaurants.
Yep.
Then next month, we could add that tab or go to the tab that's created for job opportunities.
Right. Those
So
can just
we
be
can
coming
just start,
soon.
we
Right,
can
well,
start
yeah.
building on that,
Right.
but right now, the two most
Yeah.
important things is the shop Southwick
Yeah.
and the
Want
restaurants.
to focus until we get that directory fully filled out. I'm gonna spend all my web time on that.
Yeah.
Perfect,
So then we'll make a time, come in, 9 o'clock or so, and then that way I can go through the directory tutorials, yeah.
You still have my card? You want,
I still have it.
again, okay,
Okay.
just, text or call or
okay,
whatever.
so
Let me know.
I
Yeah.
guess at this point then, unless there's anything else you want to share with us, Martin, maybe an invoice? Okay,
On that part, so.
Okay. so,
I can try getting out to you tomorrow, but yeah.
okay, you know where we are, we've got the money in our budget, so we're good for right now.
We're good for it.
We're good for it.
Yes.
We gotta get you paid too, that was on my agenda with Jack, so we're working on that too. So I guess at this point, I'd like to make a motion that Greg has our approval to work with Martin one-on-one, not in a public meeting, on the technical aspect of the website, which will soon be going live. So,
I'll second that.
okay,
Oh,
I'd like to make a roll call then, vote. Inga Hoteling, aye.
Jim Curie, aye.
Pam Sclafani, aye.
Greg Sanders, aye.
Greg Diley, aye.
Okay.
Hawkeye.
Oh, Amber, you're with us?
Yeah.
I'm
No.
Chris on here. I didn't realize my husband's computer has his name on it.
Oh,
I've been-
that's
Yeah,
okay. So, and Amber said aye, perfect, so it's unanimous. Okay, great. Thank you so much, Martin, for coming.
Awesome job.
Yep, and you're gonna reach out to Jason in regards to
Yes.
the copyright piece.
Yes, yes, indeed.
Cool.
Jason's on the call.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Jason?
I am here.
Oh, hey, Jason.
Cool.
Martin's here from, Southwoods Printing. Do you wanna just ask him?
Yeah, so Jason, I grabbed some of your photos from, Facebook and I added in the data of the photo, copyright information that goes to you. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's perfectly fine. As long as they say Jaguar's photography on them, that's perfectly
Yeah.
fine. If it's in the
So,
copyright, the
Yes,
metadata.
those are there, but within the data of the photo, basically it has, so if someone were to like steal the photo and try to, manipulate the photo and erase your name. Inside the actual document that you can't see actually has copyright information that goes to you. So.
No, that's perfectly fine. I know how the metadata works.
All right, awesome.
I used to own a web hosting company, so I used to have to do the
Nice.
same thing.
Cool beans.
Okay,
Thank
great.
you, man.
Okay, so we'll give you a few minutes and Martin to pack up.
All right, check me
And
out.
don't forget. the cookies
Yes,
for
the cookies
kids,
I
too.
put in my bag already.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Oh, and by
Awesome.
the way, Pam, what did you think of the video?
I mean, I liked it, and did I forward that to?
The video I have.
Yes,
Yes.
Martin
No,
has.
I brought it to Martin myself.
Yeah,
Oh, okay, yeah.
that's something I'm gonna.
You do
yeah.
beautiful work. We're happy to be
Thank you.
working with you.
Yeah,
For the
absolutely.
time
happy.
being, I'm not gonna be flying drones though, because I sliced my finger with a machete the other day.
Oh,
yeah,
that
that's
hurts.
fun.
Just thinking of that.
There's gotta be a story behind that. Maybe we should not listen to that on a public recording. So, okay, perfect. So. Oh, I think I left my agenda over there, right?
Here's another one.
Oh, no, I got it. Okay, so we've got Martin with Southwoods. And Gene's gonna give us an update regarding the planning board meeting that he went to on March 26th.
Basically, the architect, Levesque, gave us an update on primarily the plantings, the screenings, and moving of the stormwater retention pond. And
And this is for the property where
dollar
the
store.
projected Dollar General
Dollar
is.
General on, so, but basically, it's just a recap of that. Okay. Plus, from the gallery, there were a number of people who, stood up from the neighborhood saying it's out of character, raised all sorts of questions as to, not really fitting in with the character of the surroundings and that sort. So it's all pretty much the same. A couple of letters were submitted to the chair. They were read, but it's basically the same thing. You know, people in that area do not want it. They talked about the frontage of the store, and they said they could have more, you know, change the architecture of the of what you'd see. It looks like a Bass Pro Shop essentially type of format for the architecture of the building, which you'd see on the road.
I was actually surprised that Levesque came back with different renditions of what they had originally proposed.
Yes,
So they're really wanting to be as accommodating as possible.
I bet.
Past that, I did get up and speak and said that, because I've seen this so many times in the past. At the prior meeting, Levesque had said that.
Thank you, Martin.
Said that
Thank you.
College Highway is a major artery, through Southwick. And my point that I brought out is it's a simple two-lane road. There's no soft shoulder on it, essentially. The three-lane, that we do have terminates at the south end of the Tractor Supply. But past that, it's all two-lane road. And once you start introducibility there, now you're talking any left-hand turns are gonna cause backup in traffic and things of that nature. So as the development goes forward with the highway, we don't know. I don't know if it's on anybody's, that's transportation improvement plan, typically held in, out of Boston, I would imagine, okay? And from a highway department, near a state road department. But, or PET, I think is also a term that's used here. I heard it in the master plan, and I don't know how that relates to, but either way, there's a list of priorities of road plans. And of course, the response from the Department of Transportation is we haven't heard anything. That's gonna be a typical type of response. But moving forward, that road will get widened at some point, okay? It may not be 5 years, could be 10 years, we don't know. Or it could not be till the next master plan is drawn up. But eventually it will happen. I've been in situations where they happen very rapidly. But before you know it, you got a three-lane road, maybe now with a soft shoulder. I'm seeing more and more electric bikes on the road, okay? Can't count that out, plus a sidewalk. And next thing you know, all your screening is gone, and your entrance to the business is right on the road, okay? So I mentioned that, and of course, would not fit with the master plan. That came out clearly in the development of the master plan. I don't know who here attended any of those, but that is, you can confirm that is not what the residents want, okay? Kind of a strip retail from one end of town to the next. Yeah, it's just not in character, and yet Levesque says it would be in character. Kind of doubt that, but he's the petitioner, and
He's representing that.
he's representing it, so exactly. But that is a major point to be considered. There's other things to be considered that came out, or at least what I was told later, which is what about a environmental impact statement? Because they do, there are bears that come through the neighborhood. Now, this facility is promoting itself as being having groceries and produce and things of that nature. Food waste end up in the containers, and then the vermin and the bears and anything else. So there's a risk there, okay? And it's real, quite frankly, because last year, within the last 18 months, I had a bear in my neighborhood, next door neighbor, okay? Right there on Freedom Hills Road, right up from the school. So that's an issue, bobcat, bear and whatnot. So I don't know that they've assessed that as such, but if
Somebody bring that up at the meeting?
they brought it
The
up with me
environmental
afterwards.
piece? Okay.
Okay, so it's an issue that needs to be addressed, okay? But as far as the safety is really the major concern, because once your highway goes on, once that setback, it goes to nothing, okay, with the widening of the road and anything else that goes into it, and plus the screening goes away, okay? And again, it's right on the road, and now it's a safety issue. And so that's the major thing that I tried to bring out. I'm gonna go back and I will reiterate it, because eventually it's gonna get widened. And whatever goes in now, as that's widened, that setback keeps getting shorter and shorter and shorter. Yeah, so
And that's
it needs to be
hypothetical.
addressed.
when it's going to go in.
Correct.
There's nothing that's concrete in regards to College Highway being widened at this time.
There's guaranteed it will be on the TIP or PAT program, listing at some point. You know, it just, as businesses grow, the demands on the road go. As the population grows, the demands on the road go. And you got 2 lane from really,
Yeah, it's terrible for biking.
It is.
There's
I
no
mentioned
shoulder
that.
till you get to
I
the
mentioned
Westfield
that.
line,
Or
and
even
you've got a
walking.
shoulder.
right, I mentioned that, well, there is no soft shoulder, period, you know? And I also mentioned that I've seen more and more pedestrian traffic in that stretch of wood from Ray's Family Farm,
Yeah.
you know, toward what was the Bay
Golf
State,
course.
the Bay State, clinic.
Mhm.
Yes.
It's, I don't know
Now
what.
Jordan Healthcare now.
Healthcare and
Yep.
advanced.
So I'm
Yeah.
seeing more pedestrian traffic on there. I've seen it just about every time I've traveled that road. Not today, but last sunny day was when.
So,
So, but that is a major issue. Again, I did mention that the screening, you know, they did a better job of it because originally they had wanted to put a stockade fence around the entire property. Not exactly eye appealing, so they agreed to move it within the screening. So landscaping and screening are surrounding that, and the stockade fence kind of buried within that, so. It has its advantages and benefits, I mentioned that, you know. But again, the major concern that I had is that, you know, the screening, that should be pushed back. And the screening should be pushed back in the entranceway, because as soon as all that's gone, now it becomes a hazard to enter and exit the facility, particularly if you're going north on College Highway and you have to wait on traffic and then it backs up, so it is what it is, okay? So, it is a safety concern. And then they agreed that they were gonna push it out another 2 weeks to address some of the other things.
so the next public meeting on Dollar General with the planning board and other issues is going to be on Tuesday, April 23rd at
Cannot
7 o'clock. That's up in the land use.
I cannot remember the gentleman's name, who, I guess was on the planning board at one time and.
Marcus Phelps.
Marcus. He did stand up and state emphatically that this is what we need in Southwick and the site set for it. One of the other things that was discussed in this is, that Levesque brought out, and said, well, they had tried to put in some form of multifamily and that didn't go, something else they wanted to put in there, but that didn't go. And this really kind of fits the bill, but in fact, if it had been a Trader Joe's or something like that, a little more high end, yeah, I don't know that we'd be that much objection to it. But something needs to be developed for that site, you know. And
What did you just say? What was the last?
I said, you know, something a little bit more high end than, you know, a Dollar General or a Dollar Tree, whichever dollar you want. Trader Joe's might be something else, but for the vision that, or for the master plan, to be implemented, what the people want in Southwick. You know, Dollar General, Family Dollar, Dollar Tree, Ocean State, it just doesn't present Southwick. And
Yeah, I
that was
think-
really what the neighborhoods were saying.
Yeah, and also it's an issue about saturation, oversaturation. That was brought up the first meeting I went to about this, is that we've got the Ocean State, the Dollar Tree, the Family Dollar, we now have Dollar General. Dollar General is picking Southwick because we got the land for sale. Even though they have one in Russell, they have one in Westfield, they have one in Feeding Hills / Agawam. Why not? So, so yeah, so April 23rd, public meeting, if anyone wants to attend. I know I'm gonna be going with, I'll be there that night, Jane, just to be able to.
So I'm trying to understand, when we talk about the master plan, what specifically do we look at when we say it doesn't fit the rural character? I'm not playing devil's advocate, I'm just.
No,
trying to
I understand.
I'm trying to understand what the point is. That, I guess that's my first question. The second question would be, how many things do we need to go up against a project before it's voted down? If in fact, one is enough that it doesn't fit our rural character or what we're shooting for? I mean, how many things do you have to have?
Okay, no, I understand what you're saying. I don't know how the master plan, you know, from a legal perspective, can dictate what can and cannot come into town. You know, the planning board and select board eventually will decide that. As far as maintaining a bucolic nature to the town, that's not really a legal term, it's more of a concept, if you would, okay, of what the people in Southwick hope that this town develops into. I've heard the term more New Englandy. I don't know if that's necessarily definable, okay, but understandable, you know, because we live here, okay? You travel to other towns and have that New England character, if you will, okay? But, as far as objection, we have a zoning ordinance in place. And if it meets all the requirements and the citizenry has some kind of input, okay, and the developer is willing to listen to the citizenry and get that incorporated into the site plan, which is ultimately approved, okay, the planning board really doesn't have any legal stance to block it. Now, the issue of safety is huge, okay, it really is huge. And again, it goes back to, what I mentioned issue of motorcycle traffic, okay, and you have a business there, all of a sudden you're going from, you know, rural, if you're going rural and farmland and things of this nature, and all of a sudden you got business, cars pulling in and out of a business, it creates a different safety issue, okay? But if the building ends up right on the road, that becomes a serious safety issue. And so that would be an area that really needs to be addressed. Okay.
Yeah, and it goes back to where, yes, we have this proposed, I want to emphasize that word, master plan for 2040. It's not been approved. So the master plan, we hear it in almost every meeting we go to. Somebody will mention, well, it's not going to fit in character of the master plan. Well, we don't have a master plan.
Right,
We have one in process,
right,
but it's not been unanimously voted on. That would have to go to a town meeting.
right.
Because we have the purest form of government here in this town. So as long as a piece of land is zoned for business, that's the prerequisite. And if we go back over 3 years ago, when the community filled the auditorium at the school, and it was in regards to Carvana, and Carvana withdrew without prejudice that evening. One of the questions that was proposed to Levesque, who was on that stage, was, well, what do we do to prevent this from happening again? And Levesque's response was, change your zoning.
Right. If it's zoned.
Because that whole corridor where the farmland is, where that rail trail is now, which used to be a railroad, back in the day, that was all zoned industrial. Product in, product out. So that's where we have to attempt to look at, how do we change the zoning? What's, you know, what do we do about that?
This is actually a very good avenue of what's happening right now with the homeowners associations. That's the most grassroots level you can get to. If you get individuals, 1 or 2 individuals here, 1 or 2 there, but as a collective group, when they start working together, okay? And I know they have a homeowners association over there, but it's not public.
And that would be Winfield that Gene is referring to.
Right. As soon as you have a group of people Okay, now you have voting power.
You have a mass
You have
of
a mass.
people.
And if those people reach out across the street to the condo association, and then you go down and you can even pull the farmers and landowners into it, to a degree, you know, if they're locally owned, okay, if it's out of state owned
Which
or
they are.
something, okay. Then you bring more into it. Now, so the next development now, the golf course development, if there's an HOA there, you bring that into it, and now you have some voting power, okay, as to, you know, to affect change.
I
all the
think,
way.
yeah, I think one of the bigger issues that Winfield and the Greens is looking at is property values. How will this,
Oh, yes,
how will this
property value.
impact
How
their
will-
property
yeah.
value?
Exactly. That's a big,
Yeah.
that's concern.
So,
And-
so yeah, once again, April 23rd is their next public meeting. And I welcome the community to show up. When
Absolutely.
Gene speaks, he's speaking as Gene, a private citizen. If I choose to speak, it'll be Inga as a private citizen. We're not bringing in the EDC into this.
I did represent the EDC in, you know, in stating my concerns with respect to, you know, the widening of the road. Okay, and I did because it is also understanding the master plan, what we went through, what's in the process. Levesque brought it up, okay? So that, I did represent that. As a private citizen, I have my own say too.
Right, so we just have to be really super
Yeah, fine
cognitive.
line.
Yeah, very cognitive of that.
One thing
Whenever-
I'd like to be able to do at some point is to do a revenue analysis.
On revenue
Town
analysis.
revenue,
That's-
you know, what the assessment would be and what the tax benefit to the town is.
Right. We know it's not
That
gonna,
should be a not something that enters into, if this goes to town meeting, we should have that piece of it.
that piece should be part of what we could offer along with us, so we can't really focus on the fact that it's going to be a big employment boom for the community, because on the most part, we have 1 to 2 people. They're right now in the midst of a pretty good lawsuit out of California because of expectations for their employees and, repercussions because of that, so. But that's on the back of my mind, Greg, that once we see more about what's happening with these public hearings, to do an analysis, that's where we
Yeah,
can start
I'd like to,
offering more
at some
value.
point, get together with the assessment group and get them to tell us how businesses are assessed, because we should have expertise in that when we look at economic
Right.
development.
Right, which is gonna be its own separate vein, almost, with the assessment
So I'm
piece.
just curious, because of your background, not relating to Southwick here, but in your former life.
Yeah.
Down south, how much of an impact did a group of people have on a business that would otherwise be permitted in that area?
I think most significant thing that we did, I was, you know, president of the homeowners association for my development. And that was just a small part in the southeast quadrant of Charlotte, okay? That quadrant, I think it was precinct number 5. If it had seceded from the city of Charlotte, it'd be like the 5th largest city in the state. So it's a high density, a lot of people there. We joined, I joined with another association called the Coalition of Homeowners Associations, the Southeast Coalition. Because of what we were able to affect, other coalitions started from the East Side Coalition, the West Side Coalition. And then we put out information, questionnaires when elections came around. And we had candidate debate forums. And there was one where we met, and it was well over 250 people, citizenry showed up. And the fire marshal had to stop and keep people away. And when the candidates got up there and they're before the thing, and people were asking, well, what about this? And what about that? We got a development where a school bus can't even go in and turn around. So all our kids got to march out to the highway to get picked up by the school bus. I mean, you make a big, big impact. Okay, now all of that really goes to the select board. Okay, when you have that kind of citizenry showing up saying, we don't want this kind of development, okay? people who get votes pay attention, okay?
Yeah, but I mean, as far as stopping a business, I'm just trying to understand. It
Oh,
doesn't seem-
there were, go ahead.
Unless a business bows out and says, you know what, we don't wanna go, we're not wanted. Or if they're brave enough to say, you know what, we're gonna stand up and, you know, we'll eventually succeed. I don't know, it seems to me like it's almost a waste of time.
No, I would not say it's a waste of time.
Yeah, if you
Absolutely not.
impose safety requirements that are strong enough, they might say, no, we can't, you know, deal with that.
Yeah.
And I think that's the strongest leverage point of all of them that you brought up.
Safety.
As a result of all that work, and I did a lot of political work, manning phones and all that, that's like the people that we respected, okay? There's some people who would rubber stamp anything that came into town. That's not what Charlotte wanted. That's not what the people of Charlotte wanted. That's not what the people of Southwick want. Okay, you just don't rubber stamp what's coming in. And there's a way to do it, and it's applying pressure, and you got the people now.
But we also have to let some businesses in. We
There's no
also at
question.
some point have to let some people in. I
There's
mean,
no-
are we gonna like fight every single thing that comes in? Are we not
Right.
gonna let people sell their land, eventually? I mean, you have the freedom to sell your property. And,
Absolutely.
and I'm not saying I'm for or against this business, but we have to be of the mindset, like, we're not rubber stamping everything that comes through, but we're also not gonna just deny everybody because we don't want to see any new businesses in our town.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
Yep.
And some things you're just not gonna be able to fight. There's no question about it. But you pick the battles that you can win. And you take a look at the whole picture of where Southwick wants to go. So we're gonna draw off of that master plan. Part of that master plan, though, that needs to be developed is a vision. You start with a vision, you develop a plan, and then you implement it.
But we
Right now.
don't have a master plan. We don't have a master plan right now. I know we're getting one, but we can't use that as leverage at this point in time. We can think about it and we can say, this is what we like, this is what we all talked about, but is not implemented at this moment. I mean, it would be great if things came in and could have a different facade on the outside and maybe like fit even though it's a business we might not all quite want in town, but if it looked appealing, and didn't look, bright yellow and whatever, and like you said, floats and everything in the front, maybe, something different. But we don't have the master plan. We want to have that. We've tried, everybody spent a long time on that, but it has not been implemented. So can't keep, saying we want the master plan.
Agreed.
That's,
I totally agree
yeah,
with you
that-
in that regard. It needs to be pushed forward. And there's a lot of work to be done on that. A tremendous amount of work to be done on that.
so what we can do is what Greg and I brought up at the last meeting or the meeting 2 weeks ago, was having Rick Sullivan through the Western Mass Economic Development Council inform us as to who is approaching Southwick and be aware of who's looking to develop or look at a potential spot in our community and create some type of a work team that's going to be involved, from somebody from, say, finance, assessors, planning board, economic development commission, so that we can have a voice and be able to do some analysis as to what's the revenues that's gonna bring into town, what could be the concerns regarding infrastructure or resources that they need. Because as Amber said, and I said it within the past half hour as well, we keep hearing about the master plan, but we can't leverage a darn thing on it because it doesn't exist.
But
I'll take it one step further, and I think this is even with what Amber said. We've all sat in planning board meetings where they'll say, we want some arborvitae out here, and this is how we'd like things to look. I don't even know, I mean, legally, does that hold up in court?
No, it doesn't. I've had
So, I mean-
situations where.
I mean, I like to know where we stand and what we can do, what we can't do, and everything else doesn't matter. If we can go to somebody and say, you know what, this is this is where we'd like the town to head, we would like it if you would do that. But to make them feel like they've got to do that in order to be able to have a business there, I think that we've sort of overstepped our bounds in many respects with regards to how we've done things in the past. So I'm just saying, I think our approach needs to be different on a different basis as we go to a business and say this is really who we are and what we like to see, but you're free to do what you'd like to do instead of all this mandating stuff, which I don't think would hold up.
Well,
Well-
right now, go ahead, Craig.
I was just gonna say, I agree with Gene on the power of groups of people. That is a leverage point. If the whole area, everybody around there, if Jackson rises up, that has a big impact. I went to one of my Strongtown meetups on Saturday morning, and it was walking through the King Street area of Northampton, which is basically Route 5 going out into north of town.
Right.
There, through citizen groups, had a huge amount of influence on the development of that area, because that's gonna be a walkable extension
Mhm.
going north, and there's a big auto dealer that wanted to come in and build right there, but you get enough people, and it makes a difference.
It makes the difference.
It only takes a few people to initiate a zoning change. They made a point about that. There are people there that know how to do that.
You know, as a result of that, and Amber, to your point, you're right, we can't pick and choose who wants to come into town. You know, but we can, at the same time, have an impact on how they're gonna present themselves, the screening and things of this nature, ingress and egress out of a business. And I don't know how it works here in the state of Massachusetts, but I know down there were exactments that could be made on widening the road. So if you needed a turn lane going in or a turn lane going out at an intersection and things of that nature, you know, that was perfectly legal. Okay, and until that final plan, and is to your point, they can say what they want, but not build to it or not adhere to it. We've seen that before. And so final occupancy was not signed off until everything was done. So there was a lot of places where screenings were left off and they gave them occupancy and they said, well, you know, we decided not to do that, you know, and it didn't fit. So there are ways that we can, I just don't know legally if that can be done here in the state of Massachusetts. I just don't know.
We should have standards for roads, for, safety, for turns, for traffic, for even biking lanes, for
Yes.
pedestrian. Those are essential. You can just totally ruin a town if you ignore all that stuff.
Exactly right.
I don't think anybody's
Exactly.
arguing that. My only point is that I'm not so sure that we can mandate some of the things that we do. If there's a way to do that, and that's what we wanna do, then we need to legally find out what that is. But in the meantime, I don't know if it's worth barking up that tree until we find that out.
So why don't you send me, Craig, a question? Create a posture statement, send it to me, and then I'll reach out to John, the planning associate
John.
for the planning board, John Goodart, and ask him.
Well, I think we look at our own bylaws and so forth. I mean, I'll poke around to find out. I'm just hearing what we're talking about right here, and I'm just, it's.
Cause I know that they can make, site requirements through, cause that was one of the things that was brought up at the previous planning board meeting regarding the specific property. Would be, well, can we put a site restriction that no product is gonna be displayed on the outside of their sidewalks? That all their product for sale is gonna stay on the interior, not the exterior. Well, yes, we could make that a site-specific plan. So that's
Because
where-
they wanna work with us, they wanna come into the
Right,
community, so
right.
they're willing to do some of the things that we're asking, I'm
Right,
assuming.
which would be part of the terms of the agreement.
Right, I'm not specific to this instance right here, I'm just talking in general.
In general.
Things that are on the
Yeah, right.
table.
Right,
How do we need to behave? That's all I'm looking at.
yeah. So, because part of what I would like for us to eventually be able to do, and I know we tipped on this a couple of weeks ago, is marketing businesses. And that's where our site, at one point, there will be a tab there for property for sale. That's part of the little PI work that we've got Amber doing right now to bring to our next meeting to see what is available out there. And then how can we help facilitate that? Because the select board has already said they want us to be able to do more than what we've done in the past. So
Right.
here's an opportunity to look at solicitation.
But wouldn't it be important as we go to these businesses to be able to say, and oh, by the way, the planning board is gonna require that you look like the OK Corral. All right, if this is where we're headed, then we need to know these things.
Right,
Understood.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally
absolutely.
agree
Craig.
with you in that regard.
Yep. So,
A lot of work to go ahead, moving forward for sure. A lot of work, so.
so, okay, let's go next onto the agenda unless anybody has any other comments. Okay, so the restaurant reach out for this week, we're not ready for that. In my
No,
opinion,
no.
because we need to have that website active. We need to have the business survey ready to go at the same time, so that when we hit the restaurants, we can give them both the survey and also the information about what's gonna happen at the track. So we're going to move that to the next meeting. In regards to old business, we've already gotten the update for the website. The QR code, we already understand what's happening with that, and the continued discussion on Facebook. Do we want to discuss that this evening, or do we want to push that off to another meeting?
I can't remember where we left it last meeting.
Last meeting, I had talked to Jason in regards to helping us create a presence on Facebook,
Right.
and
Yep.
and everybody
Oh.
was like,
We were gonna look and see how many economic developments had around, who had, right, in the surrounding towns,
and
see what kind of action they had.
had anybody taken a look at those?
Wouldn't know how to do that.
Okay. So my recommendation is we sidebar this to the next meeting then. And why don't we have 3 people do some research on that? I
Do it.
Pam will, okay, Pam's agreed to do it.
I'll do it.
Amber, okay.
Yeah.
And I'll take a look at as well. So
Why
we're
don't
not,
Can the 3 of us shoot an email to each other and like just grab some town, like just so we're not all gonna have the same town?
you just took the words right out of my mouth. I was gonna say, let's talk about what towns do
Perfect.
it. We're not both, all 3 of us are in the same town. So, I'll send an email out to you 2 ladies and we'll
Pick
get that
mine.
done.
Tell me what I need, tell me which ones and I'll do it.
Okay, sounds great. I think we should do 6. We'll do 2 apiece. How's that sound?
Okay.
Okay.
Fine.
So does anybody have any other comments that they'd like to bring up tonight? No?
I've had way too much sugar.
Okay, so
Oh.
then I make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I'll second.
I
I.
Aye. Roll call,
Aye.
aye. Oh,